Hi and welcome to Milgat Farms. Today on the channel we're going to be labeling some of our 8-ounce bottles for Food Lion. We're pretty excited. We've got a really big order. This week has been super busy for us, and the order was just icing on a cake. It's so nice to be able to sell our syrup through Food Lion. We really enjoy doing that, that's for sure. If you're ever in Food Lion, and then you only have to, it's only going to be in Virginia most likely. But if you look in the Virginia only section, you're going to see this bottle right here. That one's got little bubbles in it. But anyway, that's what you'll see when you go there. So we happen to be Virginia's only USDA certified organic maple syrup farm. Then that's pretty cool. There's not many people in Virginia that make maple syrup. Probably about a handful or better of us, maybe 2 handfuls, who make it at scale, if you will. And that's, I don't know what that would be, but for us, anywhere from 500 to 1,000 gallons, maybe 1,500 gallons, that's a lot of syrup. And we fall in that category. It's a blessing to be able to do what we do, that is for sure. And we have been selling our syrup through Harris Teeter and Food Lion. And so recently, Food Lion placed an order. So we're getting that order together, and I'm going to deliver it next week. At least that's my goal, to do it next week, to Turkey, North Carolina. And that's where we go through the distributor to get into Food Lion. We deliver there. And so I'll be going over to Richmond and then heading south on 95 until I get past Wilson. And it's in the middle of these huge fields. And I always say that we're in the middle of nowhere, convenient to nothing. I think they are too, that's for sure. Last week was a really busy week for us here on the farm. We got some of our beef cows off the winter pasture, and we've moved them into greener pastures, and they've just pretty much gobbled it all up. And so we've got to move the fences again probably tomorrow in order to get them fresh forage. We are pretty much out of hay. Our neighbor owes us a few bales, so we're grabbing some bales from them for our cattle. When we get the labels done, I close up everything and then we seal it. And we've also got to put some information on the top. That's our name along with the barcode. There's probably a faster way that I can do this, but this seems to work pretty well. If you can think of a faster way that I can do this, please let me know in the comments. That would be awesome. Today we're filling an order of close to 2,400 bottles. That's 200 cases. And that's probably one of the larger orders that we've ever filled. Typically not at the same place. Normally we'll do like Harris Teeter, and then we'll do one for Food Lion as well. Let me show you our labeler. It's kind of cool. Labeler's got a little laser light right here. And so when I pull it, it advances the next one. In the wind, this thing could be like a slot machine. It just kind of shoots them off. When we don't have much wind like we don't right now, it works pretty good. So there it is. All nice and done, put it away. Labeling probably one of my most favorite things to do because we get a chance to see the product before it goes in the box. So if there's any imperfections in it, not that we have a lot, but if they are, we can pull it and we'll just use it ourselves. We bottle a little bit more than what they call for, just in case we have some issues. In the past, I have bottled exact amounts, but there's always something that kind of creeps up, and I want to make sure I have a little bit extra. So some other things that have been going on the farm, we've had some wonderful guests coming and going. It was a lot of fun this past week. We've had a couple of guests that wanted to come up in the mountain and help us out, and they did a great job. Then we all had lunch together, and the next day they took off and went back home. So it was a lot of fun to have them on the farm. If you ever want to come out to our farm, go to milgatfarms.com, and you can see that we have a B&B here on the farm where you can come out here in the middle of nowhere, pretty much convenient as nothing, kind of hang out with us. It's cool. So something that's coming up pretty soon next weekend, in fact, starting on Thursday, Gabriel and I are going to be going to the International Firewood Expo. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a fellow that we watch. His name is Joe. He's called the Ohio Woodburner, and he's put together this trade show for people that make firewood. And I like firewood, and I think Gabriel likes firewood too. So we're going to go to this International Expo. And they say international, but really because there's a lot of different producers there's all around the world. I think there's a couple coming from Finland. I know Canada's sending one, or sending one. I think Easton Made's coming down, which is just a really wonderful product. And then a whole bunch of others are going to come too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Earlier this week, when the guests were helping us, we were able to get the woods done. And when I say done, that means that all of our unseating, where we disconnected the laterals, has been completed. That doesn't mean we don't have line work to do. There's still a bunch of trees down on the lines and a bunch of laterals that need to be repaired. So I'm going to start taking those and getting them ready in the summer this go round versus waiting until October like I normally do. I'm going to try to get everything fixed that I possibly can, so when I get to October, really the only thing I'm going to have to do is put more taps on. That's one thing that we did this year that we hadn't done in the past. We normally just pop the taps and just let them dangle. This go round, we not only did that, but we also cut the taps off. So the only thing we have to do when we go back is put taps on. So if any of you live in the Cortland area of Ohio, let me know. I'd love to meet up with you at that show. It'd be a lot of fun to shake your hand and see how you're doing. Some other things that happened on the farm. I got back my lift. I loaned my lift out to one of my friends, and then he brought it back. Everything was working fine. Went out on a job with another friend, and it just didn't work. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's been a challenge, that's for sure. So I do like Hollett. I contacted them directly, and they are just a blessing to work with. They truly are. They helped me troubleshoot it. Now, I still got to do the troubleshooting because when the big order came in, I need to fill it. So that project sort of took a pause, as well another project that I've been working on, which is a skid steer. So those are paused right now until I get this order filled, and then I'll jump back on them and try to figure out what's going on. I've been doing this now since this morning around 9 o'clock, and I think it's close to 5 p.m. right now. I'm going to have to milk here in a little while. I don't think Emily's feeling quite up to it. So I'm going to get a little bit more done, and then I'm going to probably go down and do the animals and do a little milking. Do you ever ask yourself why you do what you do? Recently, I did something that I'm not really proud of, or I'm mad at myself. I'm not like I'm beating myself up. I'm not doing that. But I am questioning myself. In a future video, I'm going to tell you what that's all about. A new animal is coming to the farm. Should be here within the next 2 months. And then once it happens, I'll let you know. We might let you know a little bit beforehand too. But I've had a little, how can I put it? Buyer's remorse. We'll just see how this goes. When we get done bottling, we set them in the boxes upside down so we can find leakers. We also put the best by date on the bottom of the bottle. And then we have that other little tag that we need to put on the outside of the box. We try to do that so the person who's putting the labels on over here doesn't have to worry so much about that. So I have about 79 inches approximately to work with. And so the pallets that I'm using are a little more narrow. The last group I did were 20 per row. And this one right here looks like it's gonna be 21 per row. So now I gotta go back and take some more measurements and make sure it's gonna work. Earlier this year we did 200 cases, 100 to one organization, which was Harris Teeter. Another 100 went to Food Lion. And so I made that big loop from here to Turkey, over to Thomasville, and then back to here at the farm. They're always long days, that's for sure. The truck did okay, it really did, but I don't really have as much space in the back as I'd like to have. I think if we get a new truck in the future, or another truck, it certainly will be an 8-foot bed on the back. We got a spot-on collar for Odin and B-Dog, and I don't think they're working. But my wife seems to think that Odin's beginning to be trained on it, and B-Dog, aka Stupid Dog, She doesn't really care. She'll take the shock and keep on going. But Odin, he gets a little nervous, which I think is funny, because Odin is like twice her size. And he's supposed to be the big old man, masculine kind of dog, but he's kind of not. It's funny. In the red barn, we've got 5 lambs. 2 are bottle fed and 3 are not. And they are a hoot, that's for sure. We tried to put them out earlier this week and it didn't work. They just jumped right through the fence and came back to us. Even turned on the electric. I don't think they got shocked, but they certainly jumped through and kept on coming. It was funny. So they're still in the barn for now. We've got Gunny and his girls. I'm not sure I'm gonna let them come back up to the house or not, because I really don't want them around the house. But we'll just see, we'll see. It won't be long before we have to get them out of the barn, that's for sure. They probably should have been out already. But we've got to get a house for them, and I'm not quite ready to do that yet. Now here's something that's kind of interesting. My credit card got hacked, which is kind of different. I've never had that happen. And thankfully it wasn't any of my accounts or anything like that, but I had gotten a new American Express card probably a month or so ago. And I didn't turn it on for a couple of weeks because my card was still good. So I just set it on my desk. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I turned on the card. And I went to the Valley one day. I think we went to the Valley one day when Emily went to the ER. And then another time, I think I went over to the Valley to deliver some stuff and pick up feed. Well, that's it. That's all I've done. And so the other day, somebody, or I guess it was like first came in was Target, purchase on Target. And I'm like, I didn't make a purchase. It was a text message. And then the next thing comes in, it was a Dick's Sporting Goods text message. Like, hey, thank you for your purchase. And I'm like, I didn't purchase anything. And so I happened to go in the house and just pull up my American Express, and somebody had gotten my card and started making charges. So of course I called American Express and let them know that this is fraud. Well, wouldn't you know that they had ordered something online at Dick's Sporting Goods in Christiansburg, Virginia. And when they did, they actually went to pick it up. So now I'm getting emails from Dick's to ask me how was my recent purchase, which it was not me, of course, but it was interesting that by the time I had let American Express know, within an hour of that time, this person had gone and picked up the merchandise. Wow. So who is really out here? I don't know. I know I'm not going to pay for it, or rather, they took it off my bill, so I'm not liable for it. And how did they get my card information? That's just weird. Because it was brand new. Whenever they send you a new card, that little number on the card is different. So how did they get my card? And how did they get that information? There's not many places I've been. Wow. You know, I wonder where the cows are. Let's go see if we can find them. All right, whenever I come out, I look at my wire and it's taut. So that tells me that nobody has broken anything, which is a good thing. I can see way down there, you may not be able to see it, on that fence where we have the wire spool. So what I'm gonna do now, head down there and shut that gate. That way they're all in there for the night. And tomorrow morning, I'll come up here and move this fence a little bit back around there. And I might bring them on the front here and let them eat on the front of the lawn. For about the next 2 to 3 weeks, this is exactly what we're gonna do, is rotate them around the farm in order for them to get the good forage early. Because right now we're still in that transition period where we don't have a whole lot of grass. So I'm gonna go down there and get that gate moved. Then I'm gonna go inside and check on my wife and see how she's doing. Then I'm probably gonna have to go milk. So I'm gonna get going right now. I wanna say thank you so much for watching our videos. We really appreciate it. We hope you're enjoying them as much as we enjoy making them for you, because we really do. Do consider giving us a thumbs up. Let us know where you're watching from. That means the world to us. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until next time, God bless you.